This week, we are joined by future Maryland cornerback Sean Johnson and current senior at Archbishop Spalding. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Well, let's take it back a couple months. What was your commitment process to Maryland like, and why did you decide to come to College Park?
I would say really just like thinking over like where I was previously committed to, and uh, when I went up there for practice, just seeing like all my old teammates and stuff like that, just made me like I would say really think about my decision, especially for my family wise, because it would be way cheaper just because like only a 30-minute drive. So that definitely played a big factor, I would say.
You mentioned some of those former teammates, obviously Malik Washington, quarterback for Maryland this past season and for future seasons. What's your relationship like with him, and how excited are you to join him as well as some of the other Spalding guys in College Park?
Yeah, I would say we have a great relationship. Our parents are like best friends. His sister goes to Spalding now, so I like take her home some days from school. So yeah, I would say we're pretty close. Known him for like 5 years now. So,
How did that relationship between you and Malik obviously start, and then how did your families become close?
I would say it definitely started with football. I was a freshman. He was a sophomore. I feel like he's a quarterback of our team, so he definitely like I would say took me under his wing, just trying to be a leader and stuff like that. And I would say our family, our moms got close probably just because of football and just like tailgates and stuff like that. She had like started to go over there for like Sunday dinner and stuff, and that's when it just really became like best friends.
There's obviously been a pretty big movement from people from Spalding coming to College Park with a part to do to Coach Kyle Schmitt, who obviously just left head coach there to come work at Maryland as a tight ends coach. Can you speak to kind of the pathway between Spalding and Maryland and why you decided to be one of the many people who've made that journey?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, as long as I know, it started like a long time ago. I would say just based off like what they tell us, like, and really it's just based on like being able to keep playing with your teammates and just like knowing that you have y'all bond, and like the culture will automatically be better based off like the bond y'all have had since high school. So yeah, even like Coach Schmidt joining the staff, that's also like a huge. It's really good. I mean, I've known him like it's kind of crazy that my high school coach is going to be like on the same staff as me. So yeah.
When did you first hear that he was joining Maryland? My guess is that you committed to the Terps obviously before he did, right?
Yeah, I definitely heard after I committed, but I heard like maybe I don't know, 2 months ago, a month ago, something like that.
So did he tell you guys, maybe some of the guys from Spalding who were coming to Maryland before it got out?
Yeah, he we had like a meeting like in our pack, like our facility, like in the school, and he was like, "Yeah, moving on. Like I respect everything that y'all did for me. Like he was just saying like I wouldn't be in this position without y'all, and I was just like, yeah,
What was your reaction to, having your high school coach obviously kind of, you guys are on the journey together now to Maryland. He obviously went here, but, his re-entry into coaching at Maryland. How exciting is that for you?
yeah." I would say definitely just based on like me making my decision to switch to Maryland, and then just him getting hired there was just definitely boosted like how I felt, just realizing like God works in mysterious ways and he doesn't make any mistakes.
Before we get back to the show, here's a quick word from our sponsor. The Catalyst to the Game is brought to you by Catalyst Hot Dogs. Catalyst brought the Jersey Dog to the DMV, featuring premium dry-aged Black Angus all-beef hot dogs made in Maryland, served with handmade toppings including hot onions, relish, and their signature Texas chili sauce. And don't miss their original garlic knot dogs. Catalyst always offers vegan dogs as well as gluten-free buns. Shout out gluten-free buns, because Catalyst has food for everyone. Find them in CQ Stadium in Section 14 and the Xfinity Center in Section 210. Tell the people a hot dog is a sandwich. All right, now here is more Under the Show.
Absolutely. I want to talk a bit about your football journey specifically. Obviously, a very successful career at Spalding. Not a lot of losing when you were there. What's it kind of like when you're such a powerhouse school in high school, winning four straight state championships?
Yeah, I would say it's really amazing to be honest. I feel like everybody wants to win, but I would say Coach Schmidt just really like touched on like just not getting complacent with us. Like I think that's what like kept us winning and just winning games and like not like taking our foot off the gas basically.
So for you, athletically, you weren't one of the guys who was able to join Maryland, for that spring semester and graduate early. So what has your training looked like as you're still a senior in high school, but also obviously joining Maryland in the summer?
Oh yeah, I would say I work out with my high school coach. He was a defensive coordinator. We work out probably like 4 times a week, and then I go to a trainer named Myron. He trains a bunch of like UMD guys 5 times a week too. He trained like Stephon Diggs, Trayvon Diggs. He trained a bunch of good players.
Some of those household DMV names. Is your training look like in the off season? How much of it is performance, trying to get better in the gym, but also how much of it has been on the field?
Yeah, I would say just try and balance it out, just like with the gym, also in the field, but also like learning plays, like film study, like just getting on Zoom, trying to learn plays as much as I can before I get there.
What does that specifically look like, the process of trying to learn plays and get into the system while you're obviously still taking high school classes and have that part of your lifestyle as well?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it's football at the end of the day, but I feel like it depends on what position you play, like safety. Like you gotta know, you gotta make all the checks and stuff. It's just basically just getting it in my brain, just like make sure I remember it and stuff like that. Just like taking a test, basically.
What are you looking forward to most when you step on campus at Maryland, specifically from a football perspective?
I would say just getting to meet all the guys. To be honest, the dudes that I haven't met, and really just all the coaches that I haven't met. To be honest, I feel like I'm ready to work, and I feel like we have a chance to do something great.
How much growing up, obviously from the DMV area, how much growing up did you, follow Maryland football? Were you at games? Were you just aware of the program?
I would say I was just aware of the program. I wasn't really that big of a college football fan when I was younger. I was more like NFL. But yeah, I've always like known Maryland football and stuff like that.
In the past couple of years, when you've been looking at schools, have you become more of a college football fan?
Yeah, most definitely. I would say I'm definitely more of a college football fan now than NFL.
Are there any guys who had, successful college careers, maybe recently either at Maryland or around the country that you look up to or kind of model your game after?
Um, Safety wise, I don't know about anybody from. I mean, there is a bunch of good dudes from the DMV that play safety, but none that I would really say that I like watch like that. To be honest.
Yeah, it's fair. I just know that Maryland, in the past 5 or 6 years has had a very strong tradition of getting guys,
Yeah, I know. I
in the
know they had a
cornerback
bunch
safety
of
room to,
DBs like
yeah,
Dante
getting
Trader,
to
Dante Banks, Jacorian. I think that's his
Bo
name.
Braid, a lot of them, yeah.
Tariq Steele. I know a bunch of them guys. Yeah, I talked to Dante Trader a little bit. I only because he went to McDonough. We played them a lot. We played them every year because I know he used to play lacrosse and I play lacrosse too. And I was just asking him like how hard it is to play lacrosse and football in college. Basically, that's it. Yeah, though.
Yeah, no, he has such a super interesting story. Obviously, was in the NFL last year, so
Yeah.
shout out to him. He former member of this podcast or former guest on this podcast as well. Speaking specifically at Maryland, we talked about Kyle Schmitt as a coach, but what's your relationship like with Loxley and kind of what have your interactions with him been like?
Yeah, I would definitely say he's a very smart guy, a leader of men. But yeah, I think he's a great dude. I mean, I feel like it's more than just football. He's just like trying to create men and stuff like that. So yeah, I think he's a great dude.
We talked about some of the Spalding guys earlier, but how much were they kind of trying to recruit you as well? Obviously, a lot of them had probably played with you for a couple of years, specifically like Malik. Obviously, you played a lot of time with. How much was he kind of in your ear, like come back and play together and come play at Maryland with me?
Yeah, I would say he definitely wanted me to go there, but it wasn't like nothing like too crazy, like to pressure wise. But yeah, I feel like I was definitely influenced by my older teammates.
What specifically, maybe last year were they telling you about Maryland, things that they liked, things they didn't like, and why you should join the Terps?
It was nothing really that they didn't like. It was just like basically like they're young, they're building something special, and they just keep the path going from Spalding to Maryland. I was just like, all right, yeah, that's what's up.
Very well. Well, we appreciate your time and look forward to watching you on the field in College
Yes,
Park. So,
sir.
Sean, thanks for joining us.